So now I'm moving into this question of self versus other ratings of straight eye. There's this question of whether our perceptions of our emotional abilities agree with the perceptions that other people have of us. Notice here that any discrepancies between self and other ratings of straight eye doesn't mean that we are deluded or other people are deluded or they don't know us very well. It's just a different perspective, differences in perspective, because there's no underlying objective answer to these questions. Because of the inherent subjectivity of emotional experience, you can't really say what is right or what is wrong in that field. So particularly when it comes to typically developed adults, i.e. non-clinical cases, it is not possible to say what is correct and what is incorrect, what is right and what is wrong in the field of emotional experience. But it is possible to say whether perceptions agree or diverge. And we've done a lot of research on this question because it has many interesting implications and consequences. I'm only presenting a couple of studies, a few studies now from educational settings. So on the left-hand side from the journal Social Development, what we did in this study was 2006, it was published. We asked 11-year-old pupils to take the TQ, and then we asked them to nominate classmates on 7 distinct behavioral dimensions. And what we found was that pupils with high straight eye scores, higher scores on the TQ, received more nominations for being cooperative, fewer nominations for being disruptive, fewer nominations for being aggressive, fewer nominations for being dependent, and more nominations from their classmates for having leadership qualities. In a very similar research design, 2007, British Journal of Developmental Psychology, we had a larger sample here, so we split it between boys and girls, and we found that boys with high TQ scores were less likely to be nominated by their classmates for being aggressive, more likely to be nominated for being cooperative, while girls were more likely to be nominated by their classmates for being cooperative, more likely to be nominated for having leadership qualities, and less likely to be nominated for being aggressive. Even this difference, this result here was borderline statistically significant. It was like just outside the 0.05, if I remember correctly, threshold. And the last study here from a very interesting setting, is from the English National Ballet School, and it's very interesting from the perspective of this kind of study, self versus other ratings, because the ballet teachers and the ballet students know each other very well. They work together for long periods of time, so they get to know each other very well. So these other ratings have a significance or take a significance of their own. And what we found here in this case, we asked the ballet students to take the TQ, and then we asked the teachers to rate them, both on straight eye as well as in terms of dancing ability. And what we found was a pretty strong convergence, 0.58, between self and other ratings of trait emotional intelligence, showing fairly good, and that is the straightforward zero order correlation has not been corrected. It is the attenuated correlation, in other words, it has not been disattenuated for error or unreliability. So it's a pretty high correlation, 0.58, showing good agreement, solid agreement between self and other ratings in this context. And also, as an aside, we found that ballet students with high straight eye scores were rated by their teachers as better dancers, as having greater dancing ability. That was published 2006 journal Psychothema.